Would you like to get a lot more bang for your advertising buck? If so, you have come to the right place. My name is Steve Cypress, and in this short video, I'm going to do two things. First, I'm going to help you to learn how to create an effective ad yourself, and then I'm going to give you a shortcut to all the time, money, frustration, and expense and trial and error that will take, and get the speed to the money and start making money immediately. So first, let me tell you a little bit about how I got started creating effective ads. I took a job with a Yellow Pages publisher back in 2005. And almost immediately when I was going through the sales training, I was flabbergasted, being a business owner previously myself, that their pretty much entire sales model consisted of, and if you've ever advertised in the Yellow Pages, you know this, basically, if your little crappy ad doesn't work, well, you need to buy a bigger crappy ad. And of course, they left the crappy part out of that, but by definition, if your ad wasn't working, it was crappy. So why would a bigger version of that crappy ad work? Now, of course, you know, if you went through this game, that sure, making the ad twice the size, 3 times the size did have a little bit of increase, and that's how they kept you going. So the whole game was basically your little 2-inch in-column ad isn't working. You need a credit card size ad. Oh, the next year, your credit card size ad didn't work. You need a quarter page ad. And then your quarter page ad doesn't work. You need a half page ad, and so on through the years until you get up to running a full page ad. And then you find out your full page ad still doesn't work. And holy crap, you finally realize what the game was. You were taken, and you cancel your ad, or you cut down your ad back to a smaller size, which is bizarre to me because now you're back to paying for a smaller, crappier ad that didn't work the first time, but you think you have to be in the elevator. Whatever. I love small business owners, and I was just not happy with that entire scam approach. So what I did, I took it upon myself to learn how to create effective ads for my advertisers, so that instead of me just giving them BS, like you need to add color or you need to add more size, which just meant that's good for the publisher and that was good for the sales rep's commission. But of course, it made barely a difference to the advertiser who, pardon me, I actually cared about. I said, what if we take that same quarter page, and I don't tell them you need to increase it to a half a page. I just create in that same amount of space they're already paying for an ad that'll work twice as good, 3 times, 5 times. I had ads that work 10, 20 times better. Then when I come back the next year, they're like, holy crap, you're the first rep I ever had that actually cared about me. That ad actually worked. Now I want to make it bigger. Now I want to put it in more books. I mean, to this day, I can drive all over the country, and anywhere when I get in, if I can find one now, I get a Yellow Pages book and I can see my ads still running. Some after 5, 10, 15 years or more. I see them on billboards. I see them on flyers. I see ads that I made up, and small business owners aren't idiots. They're not still running the ad for 10, 15 years because it isn't working. And I know from talking to some of them and some that I'm still in touch with that these are multi-million-dollar ads that have taken my clients from 1 location to 4 locations, 8 locations, starting basically an empire and cutting out all the competition in their area because the competition just thinks, well, nobody uses the Yellow Pages anymore. Or, gee, direct mail doesn't work, or postcards don't work. Well, sure, if you got a competitor who knows what they're doing, running an effective ad, you're going to monopolize the entire marketplace. Which reminds me, let's get to number 1. I'm going to show you how you can learn to create effective ads. So to tell you what I did, I went on a mission, and I spent a lot of time and a lot of money. I flew all over the country. I attended all kinds of seminars, conferences, watched all kinds of videos, listened to audios, and I read and committed to memory and read over and over all kinds of books on the subject, which I'm about to show you just some of. These are the basics that ought to get you started. So some of these, like this one, Out of Print, Frank Kern's Mass Control, fantastic for the art of persuasion. If you can find one, get your hands on that, pure gold. Denny Hatch, $1 Million Mailings, an entire book full of examples of money-making mail pieces and why they worked. Obviously, that stuff will work in an ad as well. Maxwell Sackheim, My First 60 Years in Advertising. Stephen Baker's Systematic Approach to Advertising Creativity. Victor Schwab, How to Write a Good Advertisement. Julian Watkins, The 100 Greatest Advertisements. Eugene Schwartz, Breakthrough Advertising. Now, this is the most advanced book of all time on the subject. Was written about 60 years ago, but human behavioral psychology does not change. So even though technology changes and the economy changes and all that kind of stuff, what gets people to take action never changes. So the classics are still working today, and this one is a tough read because it's extremely advanced. But this is an amazing book, Breakthrough Advertising, Eugene Schwartz. Denny Hatch, another one, 2,239 Tested Secrets for Direct Marketing Success. Pure gold. Friend of mine, Joe Sugarman, Advertising Secrets of the Written Word. Yeah, because when you attend, and later on I started speaking at these advertising and marketing and sales conferences, you get to become friends with other world top experts. Joe Sugarman is a genius of advertising. Highly recommend that one. Another really good friend of mine, Perry Marshall, wrote The Ultimate Guide to Local Business Marketing. Get your hands on that. David Ogilvy on advertising. Richard Harshaw's Monopolize Your Marketplace. John Capel's Tested Advertising Methods and Making Ads Pay. Michael Corbett's 33 Ruthless Rules of Local Advertising. Another friend of mine, Claude Whitaker's Unfair Advantage Small Business Advertising Manual. One of my favorite people on earth, friend of mine, great friend of mine, Kim Walsh Phillips. Awareness campaigns are stupid. I'm just laughing at that one. It's great. And that's, by the way, most ads they'll place for you. Always, oh, we'll make up your ad for free. How's that working out for you? And they make up some kind of, branding awareness type of ad. Okay, good, you're a plumber. You got your Joe's Plumbing at the top of the ad. Like, okay, people know you exist. Give them a reason to call. Come on now. Joe Vitale's Hypnotic Writing. Get your hands on everything by Robert Cialdini. Also not the easiest read in the world. He's a college professor. Lots of footnotes, lots of technical stuff. But his number one book, Influence, apparently I gave that out to a client and didn't come back. I got to get another copy. But Persuasion, 50 scientifically proven ways to be persuasive. That's going to help you when you're creating ads. Have this right with you. Bain, what's his name? Richard Bain. Richard Bain's Words That Sell and More Words That Sell. Have those right next to you. It's just a whole list of words to use in your persuasive materials like your ads. And then there's a bunch of stuff I have here that is particular, specific to the Yellow Pages, but of course, these concepts and strategies apply whether your ad is in the Yellow Pages or in a magazine or a flyer or a postcard. You've got Randall's Lawyer's Guide to Effective Yellow Pages Advertising. And of course, if you're not a lawyer, you can still learn from some great stuff in that one. Jeffrey Hauser's Inside the Yellow Pages, Wagner's Advertising in the Yellow Pages, and then this one's long out of print. In fact, it's so out of print, it's on audio CDs, and I don't even know anyone has a CD player anymore. It's Larry Kahn's Instant Yellow Page Profits, and also his Gold Yellow Page Mastery System, and the Gold Yellow Page Mastery System ad examples. And then just the last ones that really couldn't fit on the shelf there, but it's one of my good friends again, and a great mentor of mine, Bill Glazer, who wrote this fantastic book, Outrageous Advertising That's Outrageously Successful. And then years later, he wrote Outrageous Multi-Step Marketing Campaigns That Are Outrageously Successful. I did not take him up on his offer to write a chapter for that book, but I told him if you come out with volume 2, I will, and he did. So if you go get volume 2 of that book, make sure you turn to chapter 15, where I am sharing some of my secrets there. And some of my help to help you make a lot of money. So that is the first way, okay? Start attending conferences, watching all the videos you can, attend all the seminars you can, read all the books. Some of them are reference, they're really dense, go over and over and over them, commit them to memory. And then, even though you've got all that learning, you've got to start with the trial and error phase. And unless you're different than me, I mean, when I first started, my first ads sucked. So you've got to go through the, oh man, just like whatever your business is, if you are a plumber, the first time you remember when your first time you were learning how to, you couldn't do it, you sucked. Or the first time you were working on a car, you couldn't fix the cars, not nearly as well as you can now, or whatever you do. Well, it's the same with creating ads. So go through that. It's expensive, it's frustrating, but go through that trial and error, start running some ads, and eventually it's gonna click. And at that point, you're practically printing money. anytime you want an influx of as much cash as you can handle, as many customers or patients or members, clients, whatever they are to you, as many as you can possibly handle, you'll run one of your effective ads. The phone will ring off the hook. Your website will light up. Your inbox will fill up. And people will just be asking, hey, when can you come out? Hey, can I get an appointment and come in? Hey, can I do business with you? That's how effective, and you know how effective an effective ad can be. It can make night and day, all the difference between businesses. 90% of businesses fail in the first 5 years? It can make all the difference between that failure and massive, massive success. So that's how to do it on your own. Now, as promised, I'm going to tell you, because if you're like me, you like a shortcut. You like the speed to the money. You don't want to make, well, it wasn't a mistake, but you don't want to do it the same way I did and take all that time and money and energy and frustration and trial and error and become a world-renowned advertising expert yourself. Here's what I'm going to suggest. I have with me just one of my portfolios, and I chose this one because this is the first one I put together back when I was with the Yellow Pages, and I called it Turning the Yellow Pages into Gold. See how cute that is? By the way, cute doesn't sell. So don't put anything nonsense like that in an ad. Get right to the point in an ad. But this thing is just filled with $1 million ad after $1 million ad, hundreds of them in every conceivable industry, in every conceivable area, in good times, in recession, in boom times. I got ads that work. So here's what I'm going to offer to you is below this video, I'm going to put a few other videos to help you out, but then there'll be a button and you'll be able to click there and schedule a call on my calendar. We'll have a real quick call. I'll have a little questionnaire for you to fill out to give me some background so we can make the most of that time on the call and I don't have to spend the call asking a lot of real basic questions. So there'll just be a few basic questions there, but then we'll get on the phone and I will steer you in the right direction. We'll brainstorm a little bit and I'll help you out with your ad. And if you are interested and I am interested, I might possibly create an ad for you, which pretty much means I have binder after binder of the ads that work and that are effective. And that's a pretty good shortcut to me is if these work in one area with a little bit of tweaks, and of course, based on your particular preference, do you do commercial? Do you residential? Do you want more of this, more of that? I tailor every single ad, of course, to every single client. Every ad is an entirely new creation, but I work exclusively. I only work with one type of each business in an area. However, if there's one HVAC guy that does only commercial and one that does only residential, of course, I can work with both in the same area. You get the point. So if you're interested in having me create a printing money on demand effective ad for you, we can talk about that. Hit me up, hit the button below, and schedule a call on my calendar. And let's see about getting a lot more bang for your advertising buck.